Damn, he's cool. Damn, he's cool.
Oh my god. Ever since I watched the DMC anime 2025, I can't decide how, what, where, and when things came together after so many years of work and us fans waiting that this is what we ended up with. What the hell was that? I don't want to go into full detail on why this show works for some people and why it doesn't work for some other people. I love Devil May Cry games, I love Dante, I love Virgil, I love the whole franchise, and I have been a fan of them for a very long time. But there's just one teeny tiny fact that you should remember while watching this video. I think the show did not do a good job. It had more negative points than positive ones, and I enjoyed it mediocrely anyways. You don't have to sit down and just nod with me. I'm not expecting heads to pop and agree with me like yes, you're right. Actually, I do like seeing some counterparts to what I'm about to say, so feel free. Let me just start by saying that the mentality of the games never had good stories is not only wrong, but then it just begs the question, if the games didn't have good stories, why try to adapt them? Huh? Why? And then we have a delusional, kinda talentless director saying, because I can do the story properly. Yeah, it's giving the same vibe. In relationships, I can fix him, her, but in this case for adaptations. One attention-grabbing concept was the White Rabbit, a character that in the games, DMC comic books, was basically a trickster character. Code 1, Dante, 2005, and he was casually cut down by Virgil, but here turned into the main antagonist, with amazing voice acting from Hoon Lee, God I hope I'm not butchering the name, and plot points that both made sense and were kinda meh at the same time. It made me feel like I was watching the tiger being poked at with a very long stick, and the tiger just decided to make a huff noise towards the stick, like an annoyed dog in the end, and that was it. This show is something that other media can learn from. You know, on how to do and how not to do characters at the same time. Lady, what the fuck happened here? Was White Rabbit a well-written character? Bad? Yes, no, maybe so. LL Silas reference here, please don't kill me if you don't know him. The backstory revealing and the episode was something somewhat delightful for me and I enjoyed it a lot. It was not groundbreaking and it didn't give me shocks if that was their intention, but it gave me a new perspective as the viewer and a little bit of like, you know, the music videos back in 2000, which is well why we saw kind of what we saw. This character is filled with insecurity attachment, abandonment rage, identity fragmentation, trauma bonding, revenge obsession, moral disintegration, existential loneliness, complex PTSD, moral injuries, oh my god, the list goes on. Okay, so this White Rabbit guy is something, I found out from the game, had it complicated, but this guy's a therapist, probably needs therapy or heavy drinking sessions after each time having him just open his bloody mouth. Given what we saw from him, I think the White Rabbit would have been more sympathetic if when confronted by the flaws of his plan to break the barrier by Dante and Lady, he cared or did something. Instead of acknowledging the flaws, he just didn't care. If one of the main goals for this bun-bun is related to guilt-driven surviving trauma after trauma and loyalty to demons, then why attack innocent kids? Guys, I know the motive behind it, okay? Why eat one of his own fellow demons? Why experiment on them and lock them up? Why, This make no sense. Why you like this? And you want to help them have access to this world by also allowing the biggest, shittiest demons roam free here in our dimension too? Why did you turn this way? You were supposed to be on their side from what we saw!
Huh?
We have a ton of well-made examples of characters that were created, both get the sympathetic side of the viewer and the nose crunch of the sheer hypocrisy. Like Dutch, for example, from Red Dead Redemption games. I don't know how much you guys know him, but as a brief explanation, He preaches freedom and raises orphans, like Arthur as his family. And then his freedom turns into a paranoid violence and betrayal, manipulating that same family while lining his own pockets. Or another good example, in my opinion, would be Otto Octavius from Spider-Man PS4. I know now available on PS5, but anyway, a gentleman doing his best to perfect neuroprosthetics to help the disabled, including himself. But after a while, when funding dries up, he weaponizes the prosthetic arms and unleashes some kind of virus on New York, betraying every patient and other people his work was meant to serve. It's kind of obvious that White Rabbit is focused more on punishing humanity and lashing out than his stated goal of liberating demonkind. His evil laugh/cry after the demons slaughtered his kinda whole second family shows he is no longer connected to stuff. The shell of his former self may parrot his former beliefs, but his actions are that of a sadist driven to return pain he feels back to the world that gave it to him. And other stuff related to this. The hypocritic parts of him after the backstory we were shown sadly seem more like excuses. I'm not saying he should not be this way. I am saying that the delivery was kinda empty. It's like they wanted to keep pushing his flaws in our faces to have Dante as the heroic option, but not scratching off the show's vibe at the same time. Whatever it was. They wanted to have the element of surprise that we usually see used for the villains, but I believe that the delivery here just kinda went nope. His ideology barely unravels itself. He has about 4 or 5 monologues about how cruel human beings are, and then we have others telling him, well, you're just as bad. And this mostly, again, not throughout the entire show, as a concept, stalls. Devil May Cry name itself and how humanity at its core counters what most demons are can be called the core of the game. The line that Lady says to White Rabbit,
I should have known you were human from the start. Your brand of pure psychotic ruthlessness, that's all humanity.
Oh, no.
ooh, like, what happened here? There are a lot of demons that have feelings and are civil and Mackay. That thing aside, this line,
That's all humanity.
get out of my face! White Rabbit is a character that could have been better sculptured. He was kind of my favorite character in the show, and I know he is kind of repetitive, but how they portrayed him in episode 6 was more unique than most of the show. And again, it didn't have stuff like this. I know I keep showing it, but come on guys, it was 7 years, 7 years. He cannot return to his past self, nor integrate fully into the demonic society, no matter how hard he tries. His obsession, and I mean obsession, with setting things right at any cost, fractured his moral compass. So, they kinda tossed that even aside from time to time within the show. Why? An undercooked redemption or ruin beat in a story can leave the viewers feeling meh towards the philosophical debates the showrunners spent episodes setting up. Like, you guys wanted us to see this. No? If the script of the show had a bit more fragments of psychological parts mixed with his philosophical views, we would have far more depth, instead of just angry grins and monologues from this buddy. You know, we were here to see the show and see this adaptation. Many parts about this guy happen kinda off screen that feels like an empty exposition. They only build him up so much with care to bring us to the point of a mixture of disappointment and relief at the same time. Kinda like, oh, okay, we finally have the explanation we want for the missing parts. Now what? And that, again, my fellow viewers, at least in my opinion, should not be something that was delivered after 7 years of work. Adi Shankar, I don't know, did you outdo yourself? Or, yeah, I know the second season is also coming, but please learn something from what you can see online. the good parts, the bad parts, and everything. Because wanted or not, this show is gonna have a second season, and this version of Dante and other people in it are here to stay for a while. So what's your opinion? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I would love to know. Please leave a comment. It would mean so much to me. I will talk to you guys in the next video, and bye bye!